Welcome to Urban Teacher TV. This week I'm at Barking Dagenham College interviewing a STEM coordinator, a parent and a computer science teacher.
Thank you. My name is Rashpal Bihal and I'm the Head of STEM Development at Barking Dagenham College. So I'm in charge of the strategy of STEM development across the whole of the college.
It's marvellous, I would say. I'll say that Milady has been a part of this technology, and I'm really proud of her. That's what she's been doing here, and I would say that words, I cannot express words to describe what happened to Milady. I would say that I always begin with the end in mind. And what do you want to do in the future? I always say, I want this and want that, and I go for it. Because you got a different learning style, and I think if you synchronize your learning style and what you want, I think you'll get it.
I've been involved in the teaching profession for quite some time now, a total of about 17 years. Although initially when I started I was doing part-time teaching and doing some work in the industry as well. So to me it is really important that when you come into the classroom, you are not just bringing in the knowledge from the textbook, but you can actually relate to what is happening in the outside world, in the real world, to enable and equip our learners.
As most of you who are following STEM will probably know, that there is a huge skills gap going into the future over the next few years, where there's not enough people wanting to study science, technology, engineering and maths. And it doesn't necessarily have to be through university, it could be through apprenticeships as well. So there's a huge drive to push students through, young people through, to STEM specific qualifications so that we have a productive future, because as you may know, if we don't have the skills within the UK, we'd have to get them from outside of the UK, which then has implications on employment within our own industries, and obviously that's a negative thing for us.
Technology is always rapidly improving, it's not always the same. And I feel like I want to be involved in a world that's always doing something. And the fact that, that I can take on new challenges and learn new stuff, basically.
Within the ICT department, we always thrive to ensure that the curriculum that we deliver is up to date. So the units that we deliver, we keep reviewing them from time to time to ensure they reflect what is out there on the job market. We check on the university programs, what they are offering, to ensure that what our learners learn when they go to university or when they move on and do apprenticeship, they build up on that particular knowledge. And when it comes to assessment as well, as opposed to having stringent assessment criteria where everything needs to be written or everything needs to be a report, we encourage learners to explore and use, for example, other digital media to present their work. Instead of someone writing a report, they might want to record a video clip of what they want to actually put across or demonstrate how a particular software tool or product may be used.
A lot of people kind of have jumped on this bandwagon, as I put it, around coding and what coding is, and everyone has to suddenly learn about coding, but no one's actually really looked into why and what the reason is for making these young people study coding. And it's not necessarily to push them into a career for coding, because as most people will say, they don't want to program an app, or they don't want to program a PC or whatever it is. They just want to use these particular tools. So the main reason, based on the research that I have conducted, the main reason for coding is to basically develop in young minds this whole process of thinking, the thought process behind how coding actually works. So if you wanted something up here to happen, what would you have to do on the underneath for it to actually work? And we're producing a lot of kids who don't have that thought process, which is also kind of diminishing productivity within organisations, because they can't be creative. The objective might be to be innovative in whatever, but they don't have the thought process to let them drive that forward.
I like working in a team because just recently I've entered quite a few competitions where I was able to work with a team. So being able to work with a team and being able to code with them, it's like, hey, do you think I'm doing something wrong? What should we do? You know, it's like kind of like learning and like doing trials and error with your team is pretty cool.
There is a need for people to work together, to work as a team, to share good practice. And one needs to be aware of a range of tools that can be available to help you as a teacher and to help learners. You've got tools like Class Dojo, where you can set up students and be giving them some little scores to motivate them. You've got software like Quizlet, where you can set up some terms and definitions. That way then you can have learners doing a different range of activities. Those who are faster in learning, that can be doing some quizzes and challenges, while others may be going through the definitions and so on. So you've got a range of other tools called MV and a range of other tools that are available for students to be able to use. So as a teacher, I think one needs to be aware of those tools that are available and can use them for the assessment. There are tools like Socrative, traditional way you used to give students an assignment and then you mark it. But if you use a tool like Socrative, they actually bring their mobile phones into the classroom to be part and parcel of their teaching. So I encourage learners to use their mobile phones as part of their teaching instead of turning them off, because that way then they are already used to the mobile phone technology. If they can use it as part and parcel of their teaching and learning, it makes learning a lot more easier.
And always talk to your parents about it and talk to your friends about it, because whenever I come home I always tell my dad, oh, this is what I did, and then he would show me like, oh, have you seen this website and this and that. Like, he would be very open to it, and to my friends as well. And if you kind of like talk about it that way, you kind of get yourself more involved in it and actually reflect on yourself, like, wow, I'm actually doing this stuff, I'm actually so involved in the technology, and actually kind of be proud of yourself in a way.
Pushing your kids towards being creative and you know, which allows them to generate that income that they need for their futures. And you know, as we know, like within the UK itself, the cost of living and the standards of living are so high. You ideally want employment in something that's going to help you in the future. So for parents, I would say the key reason is that if they're looking for their individuals or their young people to have a prospective future almost, STEM is actually really, really important. Whether they actually go into STEM or not is irrelevant. It's the skills that they're developing behind it, because every employer within the industry, the cry out is the skills. You know, they need the skills, and by studying skills or STEM subjects that allow them to develop those STEM skills will then allow them to be more adaptable in industry.
Well, I would encourage parents out there that to support your daughter. I think it's better to, it's not better, but I always seek first to understand and be understood. I understand Milady. I always advise her to, try until you succeed. I always believe in what Judy Dyke said in Barking Dagenham College. Is that one? Said that she doesn't believe in failure, but the real failure is your failure to try. And if you have that perseverance and if you have that talent, you will surely get it.
What I've learned over the years is no two learners are the same. So what works for one learner might not work for the other learner. So it's really important to try and learn our learners, especially as they come into the college, and find ways of encouraging them. So instead of, for example, telling them apprenticeship is the route for you to follow or university is the route to follow, we encourage them by outlining, if you were to go through the apprenticeship route, what is available to you and what you need to do. If you were to go through the university route, what are the benefits, what are the pitfalls, so that when they decide in knowledge as opposed to in ignorance.
So thank you very much for sharing your expertise and also sharing the insight into your course. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure to see young people coming into this college, and when they leave even better students, and some of them coming here to visit and to inspire other young learners. And thank you to Urban TV as well for this program that you're doing, because the more information and sound information that we have from real teachers like myself, real parents and real students, then it gives it more credibility, and hopefully it encourages even younger people to concentrate on their career, because digital skills, they are here and they are here to stay.